Baddies USA episode 5 titled Unlikely Alliances. So the episode starts off with Summer versus Persuasion. We see Summer walk over there with her plumber's crack. I hate those kind of low-rise jeans, which is like so 2005 by the way. Like I didn't know they're making a comeback. But anyway, she walks over there, right? Persuasion literally warned her. She was like, get away from me, get away from me. She didn't. She kept going. So Persuasion said, boo, 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 boo. I mean, Persuasion beat Summer's ass. Summer just needs to fall back right now. Like she's just doing way too much. Enough is enough. This is still the first night, which is crazy because we're on episode 5. We're still in night number 1. That's why this is still the summer show. Like I need this night to be over so we can go into more storylines. So anyways, Natalie asks Summer, why did she do that? And Mariah Lynn steps in. Mariah Lynn's like, cause she's a hating ass. Summer said to Mariah, I beat you up already. Shut up, shut up. Mariah was like, no, you didn't. And you know what? I don't even want to beat you up right now because you're drunk. I was like, First of all, as much as I don't like Summer in this moment, she definitely beat your ass. And drunk, not drunk, it's just unfortunate. Mariah is too small. That is what it is. Like I really just want to see Mariah take a W, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, things escalated. I will say I agree with Mariah that Summer is like a liability at this point. She really is. She does too much. She's too reckless, unpredictable, and like if y'all remember in Baddies Africa, you know, she was literally in clubs throwing bottles at people. Like she is a liability at this point, but at the same time, y'all created this devil. And I don't mean y'all as in the viewers, but I just mean like she continues to get attention because of her bad behavior. So what else is she gonna do? She's gonna continue doing the same shit she's been doing. But anyways, at this point, Anna Mac gets up in her face. She's telling her, shut up, Summer, shut up, shut up. Tasiki comes and gets up in her face. Mariah comes out of nowhere. She knocks Summer back onto the couch. Summer went flying back. That was actually pretty funny. Like Summer said, woo. Here we go. Summer gets up. They square up. They're about to fight. It did not go good for Mariah. Like, just so fast. Summer said, yeah, come on. You want that? You want that? Boom, boom, boom. Like, she had Mariah turned around. Mariah did a 180. She did a 180. She was getting hit from behind. It was like, oh my gosh. Poor Mariah. Anyway, security comes, breaks that up. Of course, Anna Mac is gonna ride for her girl. So Anna Mac comes from the sideline. Boom, boom, boom. She gets a couple of hits in on Summer. At this point, really, I was looking at Big Lex and Dolly like, one of y'all should have stepped in. I know things have been rocky with Summer, but they're still friends at this point. They haven't split up yet. So when Anna jumped in, even though Summer didn't get jumped, you know, it wasn't fair because she was literally getting held by security and Anna came hitting her. I feel like Big Lex or Dolly should have came and had her back. So that's one point that I will agree with Summer on, even though I don't think she even mentions that at all. But yeah, about Anna Mac, because I know it's been going in social media that y'all apparently are over Miss Anna. A lot of people feel like she gets to get away with stuff because of colorism, because she's light-skinned, pretty gal. Every single review that I've done, I've always called out when she was wrong. I like her, but yes, at the same time, she has a problem with jumping. She has a problem with running her mouth and then ducking fade. Like, yes, I admit that 100 times over. And how she gets away with it, apparently y'all think it's colorism. I don't know. I think it's more so the fact that she's so small. It's always like, oh, I don't want to beat you up because you're so small. You're so small. You're so small. I also think it's because Tasiki's her best friend. And like most people, they don't want no smoke with Tasiki. And yeah, maybe a little bit of colorism too. I've literally said Anna and Summer are the same person. But yeah, Anna gets away with everything, whereas Summer does not. I didn't mean to derail, but you know, that's basically what's being talked about right now online. But yeah, Natalie Nunn even snaps at this point. Natalie goes off on Summer. She's literally telling Summer like, girl, stop. You're doing too much. Like right now, we're supposed to be in a professional work environment setting. This is not the time for fighting. We're supposed to be rehearsing because we're going to be performing concerts this season. Now's not the time for this shit. And also, how are you going to be performing looking like that? Your lip is fucking twisted up like a tornado. Like, girl, you cannot even talk. How are you going to perform? I completely agree with everything that Natalie Nunn's saying, but at the same time, it's just like, well, stop rewarding her bad behavior then. When she does stuff like this, there needs to be punishments. Like, I think we've said for many seasons now, like, if there was actually punishments for when people did things that they shouldn't do, then you wouldn't see this. And you know what? People would respect Natalie Nunn because there would be fear. They'd be like, oh my God, if I do this, I might get sent home, or I might get, I don't know, docked from my pay or something. They live for this. though. That's why it's weird to me when they complain. Okay, so then Natalie Nunn gives the last chain that she has to Tommy Lee. She literally prefaced it by saying, I want to save the best for last. Here you go, Tommy Lee. You know, you've turned up Baddie so much. You deserve it. Here's the last chain. She says the last chain about 2 or 3 times. So remember, it's the last chain. Tommy Lee goes up there. She accepts her Baddie's chain. But who's on the sideline feeling a little salty? DJ Sky High. DJ Sky is looking like, what about me? I don't see why DJ Sky High wouldn't get one. Natalie, you literally said, I'm giving everybody a chain because I want everybody to be united and feel together like we're a team. So if you're giving everybody a chain, DJ Sky High should definitely get a chain too. And I do feel like in general, she is always underappreciated and ignored. DJ Sky High gets upset, so she walks off stage. And literally they tell Natalie like, yo, she left because she didn't get a Baddie chain. And Natalie goes, oh, hold on, DJ Sky High. I have a chain for you. See, why are you doing all that? Literally, we have a chain for you. You just need to be patient. I don't blame DJ Sky High. Like, you literally prefaced it by saying, I saved the best for last. Tommy Lee, come get the last Baddie's chain. Why would you say last if you have one remaining? That doesn't make no type of sense at all. So this is Natalie's fault. And low-key, she could have done this on purpose to get that reaction on DJ Sky High. I wouldn't put it past them. But yeah, anyways, now everybody has a Baddie's chain. There shouldn't be no more drama over chains. That saga is finally over. Okay, so then Natalie announces that basically Roly and Tommy Lee are gonna be the leaders this season when Natalie is not there, which I just felt like this was such a missed opportunity because why not the BGC girls? They're literally there and they're the real OGs. Well, Tommy Lee, respectfully, she's like a real OG too. Come on now. We should have had Jayla as one of the leaders. We could have seen Seven as one of the leaders, Janelle, like Low London. Honestly, all of the BGC girls, Kat, all of them would have made good leaders and we could have utilized them more because I don't know at this point what the BGC girls are doing. What are they doing? Are they just there to shake their ass? This would have been the perfect job assignment for them. All right, so they ask who wants to like open up the show, and Cold Killer volunteers herself. She says, I'm gonna open up the show, which I just think, you know, that's a confident right there because who wants to go first? Nobody ever wants to go first. You remember when you're in school and they're like, okay, who wants to volunteer and go first? I'm like, not me. Not me. Anyways, yeah, so she gets up on the stage and she performs her song. It's a bad party you cannot get in. I could take your man. Of course, she gonna perform that song in front of Tinkerbella. Dissing us for clout. Call that feeder. All you had to do was ask for a feature. I'm like, ooh. Is that to Tinkerbella? Shoot. And you can already tell where this is going. They're going to have, you know, a back and forth with Tinkerbella. But my question is, when they do their concert, are they going to like have Cold Killer perform this song and then Tinkerbella perform her song back to back? Because that would actually be hilarious. So Tommy Lee is on the mic like, yeah, I'm effing with that, Cold Killer. Like, yeah, you definitely got to open up. That song represents us 100%. Dolly comes from the sideline. She's like, yeah, you would feel that way because you don't F with Tinka. But they literally say like, no, Tommy Lee doesn't even know what's happening with the song situations. So like, there's no ill intention in what she was saying, which I don't know if I truly 100% believe that. Like, you don't even have to have watched Baddies to have heard about this song situation. It was all over social media, so I don't know. Okay, so of course they call Tinkerbella up next. She gets on stage like, I make these bees so mad. Like, that was pretty funny. Then of course she performs her song, It's a Real Baddie Party You Cannot Get In with My Baddie Friends. Y'all know what it is. Tonight we off tequila and we getting hella lit. I don't know, I just made up that last part. But like in the middle of her singing the song, she literally turns around. She's like, DJ Sky, like she's upset with DJ Sky, and I really was trying to listen to what happened because literally mid-performance you see her turn around and it cuts to a confessional, so we don't know. They call Big Gretch up to the stage next. You know Big Gretch. She literally looked at Jayla. She said, I don't beef with your I don't want your if you wanna F your I said Jayla was on the sideline like, All right now. But I'm glad that Jayla just kept it cute and she didn't make it into a big deal. She literally gave her respect that the song was good, but she doesn't like that she said the N-word and she dropped it. They even go as far as to hug it out, which I actually thought was sweet. And I was just like, thank you, because we don't need a whole nother she said the N-word storyline this season. I'm so over it. And everybody's a hypocrite when it comes to the N-word. You give people that you like passes, but when you don't like them, they can't say it. It doesn't even make no sense. You're not even looking at their ancestry. Like, at what percentage do you get cut off from saying the N-word? What if you're 20% black? Can you say the N-word? 30%. Is 30% enough? Like, come on now, stop with the nonsense. Literally, I've given my opinion on this many times. I don't say the N-word in my day-to-day life. It's not in my vocabulary because I don't like to say it because it's the dumb word. I don't like to say it. Okay, next they call Suki onto the stage. And I have never really heard Suki's music before, but the whole time I'm listening to Suki's music, I feel like I'm hearing something that I shouldn't hear. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown adult, let's be clear. But holy shit, her music is so explicit. Oh my gosh, it's too much. Yeah, I don't like this type of music. I ain't gonna lie. It's too much. It's too vulgar. It's too crude. It's just like... Next, Biggie gets on stage. She performs her song that she made with Tasiki. And I like that song too. What's the word? What we doing? Look at the way that I'm moving. Who's Reposado. Hoping that I get the motto. I cannot tell you the... And then when Tasiki's part comes in, you know, she's like, I'm doing nothing yet about it. Tell me why these bitches mad? Cause I got a new body. My thing is though, I'm like, damn, does nobody know that this is totally a remix from I'm Blue? I can't believe millennials only know this song. Growing up, it's like, I'm blue in Dabba-dee, and I'll be blue in the night. Dabba-dee. Does it not sound exactly like the song? Anyways, yeah, I don't know if they remixed it or what, but that's that song. In the middle of Biggie performing, she literally and falls to the ground. That was pretty funny. Tommy Lee gets on the stage next. She starts performing her song, but low-key, she can't even really perform her song because she's looking all up at the girls dancing. She's like, yeah. She's looking at Tavey baby. She is going in on Janelle. She got Janelle's... She's literally hitting it from the back on Janelle. It's crazy. It was a bit much, Tavey baby. The way that you were standing, it was a bit much. I'm not gonna lie. It just reminded me of club days. Random dudes would come up behind you. That's exactly what it looked like. Tommy Lee said, my B Tavey is Tavey. Oh, was hitting bees from the back, She remind me of DMX, I swear to God. You see Tavey baby in the confessionals get offended and she's like, hold on, who are you talking to? But in scene, she doesn't really have a reaction. I don't know if she just didn't hear it or what. Because it doesn't get brought back up again until later. I personally don't feel like what she said was that offensive, but in general. But specifically for Tavey baby, I understand why she took it that way because people already call her a transgender. People already, say that she's masculine. So for Tommy Lee to say DMX is just kind of leaning into that whole thing that, oh, Tavey baby's so masculine. At the same time though, why are we walking around this? She is masculine. We're not denying that. So is Chrisean Rock. So is Tasiki. They're pretty masculine. People always made fun of Biggie's voice and they did the same thing to her, and Biggie never was like, hey, don't make fun of my voice. I don't sound like a man. I think she admitted, yeah, I know I sound like a man. I have a deep voice. But Janelle had me cracking up because she was like, calling, a woman by a man's name is not good. You better be careful before she woo, 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 woo on your ass. Which is pretty funny. But yeah, I agree with Janelle. Just don't compare a woman to a man, especially when that woman has been accused of being a transgender or, being a man. Obviously that's going to be a sensitive area. So anyways, Chrisean gets on stage and she, of course, says she's going to be performing her gospel. And she brings her sister on stage, which I thought was actually pretty sweet. And she says, no matter what happens, I just want to perform with her. I would rather perform than fight and yell. So anyways, Chrisean Krishan's saying that she's gonna perform her gospel music, right? But then you hear it's a vibe all the time. It's like, what? Chrisean goes up to DJ Sky High, like, what are you doing? Turn that off. I told you play Yahweh. Don't play that. Like, what are you doing? DJ Sky High is trying to quickly switch that, like, okay. Apparently later on, they said that Tasiki was the one that told DJ Sky High to play Vibe. But anyways, so does she not want to perform her old song at all? This is like, I'm not trying to judge her, but I kind of also feel like Chrisean is an extremist. I'm not gonna lie. But in general, to have gospel music with this type of music, in my opinion, I just don't agree with. With religion, I like to keep religion separate from blasphemy. Imagine you're at the concert and Chrisean is singing her Yahweh, Yahweh, it's only one way and it's God's way, right? And then right after that, you hear Suki, eat that p***, that d***, and that p***, right? It's kind of like, ooh. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know that we should be mixing God with satanic music. Let's be real. But anyways, it is what it is. Maybe it could work if like Chrisean was at the very, very end. So it's like, you know, you get all the hype and the fun and the everything, and then let's bring the crowd down with Chrisean's music, because literally it was making people cry and it was making people sad. So let's send everybody home sad. That's better than them being turned up and acting crazy and, you know, driving drunk and fighting. Like, yeah. I like that plan. Send everybody home crying and sad. Put Chrisean last. All right, so Natalie grabs the mic. She's thanking everybody. You hear Natalie's song. Dun, dun, dun. I've been doing what I want. Natalie's like, hold on, DJ. Hold on. Not yet. Only reason I said that is because I'm trying to point out that like they're trying to clock DJ Sky High and like being like, look at all these mistakes that she's making. But clearly this is rehearsal, and that's what happens in rehearsal. And literally y'all are doing stuff in the spur of the moment. Like Natalie just randomly said, I want to bring everyone on stage. How is DJ Sky supposed to predict that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyway, she brings all the baddies on stage and we hear BADZIES and they're all on the stage dancing. I noticed that Marsh has on Chrisean's Baddies chain immediately. So Chrisean literally gave it to her. I don't know. That's just, it's a little unappreciative in my opinion. I would have just kept it, took it home, kept it as a souvenir. This was something that I was a part of once upon a time. It's good memory. But no, she literally gave it to Marsh. So, you know, I'm surprised nobody said anything then and there. Everybody's seen it on Marsh. Why didn't anybody call it out? Maybe they are afraid of Chrisean Rock. All right, so the scene cuts and we see Natalie Nunn. She's announcing to the girls that they have a Baddies USA tour bus. This bus looks nice. It looks huge. Natalie said there was literally 18 beds on the bus. I said 18? Did I hear that correctly? I can't even imagine that. How big is that fucking bus? Oh my gosh, it's like the Airbus 380 of buses. Y'all not gonna understand that. The scene cuts, all the girls are getting on the Baddies USA tour bus and they are on their way to New York City. First of all, thank God we made it to day 2. Like, holy crap. How many episodes did we get out of day 1? It's day 2, everybody got new outfits on, you know. My cat wants to scratch his scratching post right now. So we see the big 3 sitting with Roly, and Summer's lip is like looking so bad the next day. Roly's kind of telling Summer, like, I like the way that you are. It's just sometimes you're a bit much. That's it. Dolly tries to kind of echo the same sentiment. You could tell she didn't really want to say it because, you know, she likes Summer and she was like, you know, we're locked in. And Summer was like, no, we're not. Like, immediately just rejects Dolly. Before she even had a chance to say what she wants to say, she's like, no, we're not locked in. And Summer literally says, I don't want to be y'all friends. Like, straight up. And she's not joking either. And I just think it's crazy because it's too fast. Like, just after one night, you don't want to be their friends anymore. That means you never really saw them as friends in the first place, because friends should be able to argue and have disagreements and settle them. Tavey baby's literally, you know, trying to get up in there and trying to like ask some questions to the big 3. Like, are you guys like splitting up? That's it? Like, y'all falling out right now? And Fauna, she don't like that. Fauna is literally telling her like, girl, mind your own business. If it has nothing to do with you, just stay out of it, girl. Because like, what happens if they pop off on you? You gonna fight? And Tavey's like, yes, what you talking about? I'm always ready to fight. But yeah, like, clearly Fauna and Tavey disagree on everything. Like, literally, since we've seen them this season, they've disagreed on everything. So I can see where they're gonna split as well. We're gonna have like the split of many friendships this season. But yeah, and I don't understand how they were even friends to begin with, because they have nothing in common at all. Like, as you can can see. Fauna is reserved, laid back. She minds her own business. And Tavey Baby's the opposite. She's kind of more out there, big personality. She doesn't mind her own business, you know. Anyways, so the scene cuts, we see Automac, Mariah, Biggie, and Tasiki, and they are riding in a Sprinter. They're not on the tour bus. I noticed they getting like some special, well, I wouldn't say special privilege, but they're always kind of like by themselves, not with the other people. Sapphire is on that bus too, and literally Automac and Biggie are fighting like an old married couple. Not even joking. They're fighting about Anna putting her food in the seat next to her. We're gonna move right past that. Back in the tour bus, Big Lex is literally telling Summer that like she doesn't want to fight her. Summer says she doesn't want to fight her either. Big Lex is trying to tell her that like we just need to have a conversation about what happened yesterday because it was a lot. And Summer once again doubles down on, yeah, we could have a conversation, but like I don't want to be friends with you guys. Once again. And Big Lex starts crying. She gets teary-eyed. Like, she's emotional. You can tell with Big Lex that she really felt like Summer was her friend. I've never seen somebody just so cold when their friends are crying and breaking down and trying to fix things. She reminded me of Natalie. She's like, wah, wah, wah. Is this Saddies right now? Like, when Natalie was making fun of Scotty crying, literally, that's Summer making fun of Lex crying. She's like, boo-hoo. Is this Saddies? Why are you crying? Because I don't want to be your friend, girl. Like, get over it. Like, yeah, that was pretty cold. Big Lex is just telling her, I just have your best interest, girl. And Summer said, well, that's fine. You can have my best interest from over there too. Now I noticed that she has that cup in her hand, so Summer is drunk. That's why she's acting like this. I'm just like, why y'all keep trying to have conversations when you're drunk? It makes no sense because for Summer, she keeps saying over and over that she didn't want them to jump into the fight with Tasiki. You're trying to act like you're so unbothered and that didn't upset you, but you don't want to be their friends. So clearly that upset you and that bothered you. Summer is like, well, you know, if I'm the problem, then I'm gonna subtract myself. That's what she's trying to do when she's saying like, I don't want to be friends with you guys. Like, if y'all just think I'm the problem, I'm the problem, I'm the problem. Well, okay, let me not be friends with you guys. Then I won't be a problem anymore. You see how immature Summer is? Like, that's how she's taking it. I know people like that. That's why this genuinely like triggers me too, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what is it called? Emotional dysregulation. The girl does not know how to handle negative type of emotions, so she does the most immature thing possible. I'm not gonna be your friend anymore. You saying I have a problem? Okay, let me just go over here with my problem then, literally. But anyways, Dolly literally tells her, no girl, you're not the problem. It's when you drink. So Summer's like, okay, well then when I'm drinking, I'm gonna remove myself. And I'm like, yeah, no. When you're drinking, you're on 10 and you don't remove yourself. The exact opposite happens. We saw it on the first night. You didn't remove yourself. So the scene cuts and we see Natalie Nunn. She's at Virginia State University. She has a booking there, which I found interesting. This to me was giving very much so Baddie Code, you know, the show that Natalie Nunn has been like filming for a while now. She said like Baddie Code is supposed to be kind of the behind the scenes life of baddies. It's not the fighting though. It's more of the fun stuff, the bookings, the shopping sprees, the luxury life, you know, maybe even the love life, romantic life, you know, I don't know. She's talking to Mr. Ray, who is like an OG reality TV legend, and she's telling him, you know, how Baddies has just leveled up this time. No more bookings at clubs. They're literally renting out venues and holding concerts. Like, it's just so big now. And like, he's even telling her, yes, Baddies is international. It's crazy. And he gives Natalie her credit. He's like, kudos to you for turning Bad Girls Club from something that died completely into something that is even bigger than the original series, which is so true. I don't think people give Natalie enough credit for that because it was her. Like, yes, in the beginning, it was a group of girls that had the idea to do this Baddie spinoff, and they had originally filmed it on OF, right? I'm not taking away credit from those girls that also had the idea, but and however, it was Natalie that brought the show to Zeus. When it came on Zeus, that's when it kind of boom exploded. So without Natalie, there would be no Baddies. That's just a fact that a lot of people don't like to admit. If you don't like Natalie Nunn, this is what I'll say: watch her on YouTube, watch her on Big Brother. She's actually hilarious. But anyways, the scene cuts and we get the black screen with writing. Dun dun dun. Something bad always happens when we see that screen. It says, while heading to pick up additional baddies, the bus popped one of its back tires. Like, what the fuck? Something always happens to the Baddies bus. At least this time it was just a tire and not fire and smoke like before. But like, didn't y'all just get this bus? I'm not understanding what's happening. Why the bus always breaking down? Like, so the girls get on the bus. Tinkerbella gets on the bus with her eye patch. It was very much so given And are you a pirate? Why you got that eye patch on for? But yeah, anyways, she just has some battle wounds from her fight with Kokilla. And her and Summer have a little bonding moment over their wounds, literally. They're like, look at this. I got this. Look at my lip right here. No, I know. Look at this. Tinka asks Summer, how do you feel about your friends right now? And Summer literally says, you know, I don't feel no type of way. Maybe go and ask them. I can tell that Summer, she doesn't want to talk about it. Every time they talk to her about it, she's being very dismissive. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's just kind of like over and over. And it is starting to feel like everybody's storyline is Summer. I agree with her on that. Because like, how many times are we going to get this conversation going? Come on. So yeah, Dolly is literally like, you feel some way about us. And Summer goes, once again, I don't want to be your friend. Like, that's it. Deflect, deflect, deflect. That's what Summer does. I feel like Summer doesn't want to take accountability for the stuff that she's been doing. So she's just acting like this right now. Like, whatever. I don't want to be their friend. Things escalate between Big Lex and Summer. They're literally going back and forth. And Summer in the end basically says like, listen, I'm not mad. We just grew apart and that's it. So I don't want to be friends anymore, which I'm just like, Summer, shut the fuck up. It's been one day. We grew apart. She acts like she's been in a relationship with them for 6 years. Then you can say we grew apart. It's been one day. 24 hours ago, you were kikiing with them. You were best friends with them, hugging them. Like, stop. Just stop it. Now, to be fair, so it doesn't seem like I'm just coming on Summer for everything. I don't love how Big Lex specifically, because it's not Dolly. You could advise somebody once, twice, but when you keep doing it over and over and over and over, it does come off like as if you're trying to like school a kid. And I think, you know, that's the part that Summer doesn't like. Plus, Summer's older than Lex, so she's probably looking at her like, are you trying to tell me what to do? I'm older than you, girl. You know, but we know maturity, the age does not mean nothing. You could be young and mature and old and ignorant. We know that for a fact. So the scene cuts back to the sprinter with Biggie and Anna, and they're literally still going back and forth like an old married couple. Anna's making fun of Biggie when she fell on the stage, and you know, they're just all laughing. Ha ha ha, hoo hoo hoo. Then it gets to the point where Biggie's like, okay, like, but like, stop though. And you know, Anna just keeps going. She keeps going. Like, you think they're having fun. And then just like that, in 1 second, they're arguing and they're fighting. It's like, oh, when did things turn? Biggie's not feeling it. She's like, okay, that's enough. You're doing too much. Like, she's like saying to Anna, like, you spilled that water on stage on purpose so that I fall, huh? Like, she just doesn't make no type of sense. She just doesn't like that Anna is busting her balls. Literally, she just doesn't like it. Maybe I shouldn't say that because Biggie's a girl. She doesn't like that Anna is making fun of her, okay? So the scene cuts and we see Chrisean and she's confronting DJ Sky High. I feel like this came a little bit out of nowhere, like came a little bit blindsided, right? And she's telling DJ Sky High that she doesn't feel like she's a genuine friend. She feels like she's using her, like she's just an industry friend, and like she doesn't have her best interest at heart. And DJ Sky High is just a little bit confused because she's like, I've been around people, celebrities. Like, you're not my first celebrity, so how can I be a fangirl of you? Like, definitely not. For DJ Sky High, she feels like she was Chrisean's real friend. All I know is that DJ Sky High, especially in the beginning, was kind of by Chrisean's side for a long time. So it did seem like they had a genuine friendship. And she took a lot from Chrisean too. Chrisean gives an example of why DJ Sky High is an industry friend. And she said when she got her cover-up tattoo, they had to put her to sleep. And apparently, I guess DJ Sky High was recording and she had posted the cover-up tattoo onto social media. Chrisean said she just woke up and she was viral. No idea what happened. Now, in this scenario, 100% I agree with Chrisean. I feel like if you're going to be friends with a celebrity, you need to learn boundaries. You need to learn privacy. I have a friend who was on 90 Day Fiancé. I even felt, you know, because she's constantly on TV and stuff, I didn't even want to ever put her on camera and stuff or do something without her wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just saying, like, I completely understand Chrisean. It has to be so annoying when everybody wants to get a little, oh, let me put you on camera, a little bit just on me, like, and then especially when it's something big like that you know it's gonna go viral because it has to do with Blueface. Like, you posting her cover-up tattoo before she has a chance to do it is crazy. And I'm sorry, I like DJ Sky High, but that is crazy and that was wrong. But I don't feel like it's wrong enough to the point where they had to fall out. A simple apology could have sufficed. And also, why is this just coming up right now? This happened a long time ago. That's the other part that's kind of weird for me. Why is she bringing bringing it up now. Should have said something to her at the time, and I'm sure DJ Sky High would have been like, I apologize. Now, Chrisean says that she made a deal with the tattoo artist that if he does the cover up for free, she would post it. And DJ Sky High is like, well, I'm the one that found the tattoo artist. Just add that little detail in there, which I still don't think that matters. You were just the connect. And I don't know if she felt like because she was the connect that she could post Chrisean before Chrisean posts Chrisean, but yeah, I'm still no. So Chrisean is just like going off. She's like, why would you do that? You know, this is common sense. You don't do that. Like, how old are you? How old are you? I don't like how Chrisean keeps trying to little girl everybody. It's like, okay, Chrisean, first of all, you're still young. So stop saying how old are you? And second of all, like I said, Chrisean's an extremist. She goes from being completely immature and not knowing how to handle her reactions to acting like she's this Zen guru who can control her emotions and is mature, to then in the next second, bap, 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 slapping somebody. It's just like, how does that make any sense? Okay, so the scene cuts and we see Natalie Nunn. She's at the school. She's on stage. She's performing. She wants to put the message out there that education is important. You know, she's college educated, so she wants the girls to stay in school and go to college and like, don't try to drop out to be a baddie. Because you know that's what they're thinking. Who the hell wants to go through 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, pay 60, 80, 100K for that shit, just to have a hard time finding a job when you graduate and find a job that you could barely break even on? Let's be real. Baddies is paying them what? 100K? But no, I appreciate the message that Natalie's putting out there. Like, yes, stay in school. I would push that advice even further and be like, stay in school, but choose a degree that you can actually find a job in, because there's so many pointless degrees out there and you don't want to get in debt just to not be able to find a job afterwards. So like, that's really the smartest thing to do. Anyways, Natalie does her performance for them, which I thought was cute. And she ends up calling some of the baddies. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm just by myself. So she calls Fauna on the phone because Fauna is, you know, also college educated, part of a sorority too. So Fauna is like talking to, which is just kind of funny though. I'm like, that's cool. But I think it would have been cooler for the students if Fauna was there. You know what I mean? But I appreciated this. I like that they're doing something different. And I think it's refreshing. I like when they promote positive things too. So the scene cuts and we see Natalie Nunn and Roly. They're meeting up finally, and they're sitting down and they're talking about kind of their beef and what happened. Like literally since the reunion, they've been talking about having this sit down conversation. I can tell Natalie Nunn this season is trying hard to be neutral with everybody, to make amends, do the right thing, and not piss everybody off, which I hope the fans and people watching can see that and appreciate, because y'all been begging Natalie for so long to act like a EP, be neutral and all that, and I feel like she's doing that. She's trying this season, you can tell. So yeah, she says she doesn't really want to fight with Roly since they go way back. If anybody's gonna hold it down, like, we need a few of us that are just gonna stay locked in. I think really that's Natalie's mentality, and she sees Roly and possibly Scotty as those people that, like, no matter what happens, we have to just stay locked in with each other. So the scene cuts and we see Scotty in her hotel room with Capri. Capri's straight up doing the plank on the sofa. It's pretty funny. But yeah, Biggie comes up in there and Scotty kind of gives Biggie a backhanded compliment. I don't know if y'all peeped that. It was though, it was. She said, Biggie, she comes in with her pink purse, and that's a queen right there. She really is confident in herself, and I just love that about her. It's like, are you saying that because she's big? I don't know. To me, it just felt like a backhanded compliment. It was almost kind of like, you know, it's just so pretty for a black girl. Like, why did she say the confidence thing? What are you implying? So Tommy and Big Lex come up in there, and immediately Big Lex congratulates Scotty, and she tells her like, hey, everything's over. Like, we're not gonna go through anything this season. Obviously, you know, she's pregnant right now. Scotty said like, yeah, I feel like we never really had any beef. It was just because of Summer, which is kind of true. Like, Big Lex and Scotty's beef did start because of Summer, but it started because Scotty and Anna jumped Summer, and Lex was Summer's friend, so in return Lex jumped Scotty for Summer. That was at the reunion, right? During the reunion, the whole time Lex was just trying to fight Scotty one-on-one, but she didn't really get a chance to do that. So when Baddies Africa started, then Big Lex snuck Scotty on some DTB type like, I can't get to you, so I'm gonna sneak you. So that's what happened. But really, it's true. They didn't really have beef if it wasn't for Summer. Big Lex is starting to realize that like her friend group is holding her back because people don't like Big Lex from her association with the big three. But in reality, I think Big Lex has always been the least problematic of the big three. People hate Dolly and they hate Summer. You can call that colorism too, but I really just wouldn't go there because she's not as problematic as them. Even the baddies have said it. Like even last season, Fauna was in the beginning saying, yeah, Lex is pretty neutral. She's always smiling and stuff, you know? But yeah, they had a little grown-up moment and they kind of made up. Scotty said she wants to get to know Big Lex. So this will be interesting. Now, I will say though, the one thing about Big Lex is that Big Lex doesn't have a super strong personality by herself, so I really don't want to see her fade into the background when she moves away from the big three. I feel like she's gonna kind of slowly turn into a Fauna, if I'm being completely honest. So the scene cuts and we see the new big three: Summer, Big Gretch, and Smiley. This is a crazy trio. Okay, I did not expect this, but yeah, this summer is new peoples apparently. So they're walking in the streets of New York City, you know, they're hyped, they're excited, and Smiley kind of asks Summer once again about the big three. Here we go. She's like, what's going on with the big three? Summer is actually coherent right now. She's not drunk. So she's like, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about them. Like, it's just kind of like giving fake Snake, a lot of fake stuff going on. And Summer actually says she was hurt. You know, she's finally coherent enough to admit that she was hurt. It's the first time. She doesn't like how they keep trying to make her feel like she's the problem and she drags them into everything. So that's why she's trying to take a step back and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to remove myself from the friendship so that I no longer drag you into everything, which still is an immature way to think about it. It's called just communicate and have a conversation with them. But at least we're getting something from Summer right now. Smiley, of all people, surprisingly, like made a whole lot of sense in this moment. And she told Summer straight up, no sugarcoating. She was like, you're not the only one hurt in this situation. You need to have a conversation with them because on some real, when you get drunk, you do that dumb like you're too much. Straight up tells her. And I was like, oh wow. I just never expected Smiley to be so blunt and direct with someone. I like that she did that. And surprisingly, Summer took it well. Or not surprisingly, because she's not drunk. So look at that. Just put that alcohol down, girl, and you'll be able to work things out. She tells her, have the conversation while you're sober. Best advice yet. Also, side note, I think it's funny that she's wearing the security orange hazard thing on. Smiley's always doing something. All right, so the scene cuts and all the girls are on the Baddies USA tour bus. They're heading to their house in New York City. Natalie and Lemmy step up onto the bus. They're just getting everybody hyped. And then all of a sudden, Tommy Lee out of nowhere says, anybody got a problem with me? And everybody said, huh? Yeah, also came out of left field. Whoa, what's going on? Tommy Lee says once again, she reminds me of DMX. And Tavey baby say, oh, you talking to me? And she was like, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to come for me right now. Like, you're the one that called me a man. Like, how are you trying to come for me right now? I should be coming for you, really, really. Tommy doubles down even in her confessional. She says, yeah, you remind me of a Rough Rider. Tommy Lee says what she said was not an insult. Just that if I wanted to insult you, I would have said you look like a Ninja Turtle, like Michelangelo, whatever, D'Angelo. Like, that's an insult. If people kept saying that I was a man and then somebody compared me to a man, I would be offended. I get it. I get Tavey. I feel like that's why Tommy Lee doesn't understand it, because nobody's ever called her transgender or tries to say that she was a man. Summer's in the confessional. Summer said, yes, you are. You're aggressive and you give pit bull. And I said, ooh, Summer, why'd you say that? Tavey baby's gonna be coming for you when she hears that. But anyways, Lemmy's literally standing in between Tavey baby and Tommy. Tavey baby's threatening her like, I will hit you, girl. I will hit you. You better stop it. You better chill out. And Tommy Lee's in her confessionals talking about she's on medication and the therapist ain't doing it right. So please tread lightly. And I said, thread lightly or tread lightly? Huh. So then Scotty announces to everybody on the bus that her and Lex made up and that they are BFFs now. I'm just kidding. The whole time Scotty's sitting right next to Summer and I said, girl, get up. Why would you ever sit next to the most unpredictable girl on the bus when you're pregnant? Yeah, no, that's not the best place to be sitting. I don't think this bus is the best place for you. It's way too cramped. There's too many people. At least like be on the side. You know, things can pop off at any second. Like, but anyways, it's kind of crazy too because they both got orange hair. Like, so now Roly steps up in her leadership position and she's like coming for DJ Sky High. She's like, DJ Sky High, by the way, you know, about the rehearsals, we have some people that are concerned that, you know, you wasn't playing their music right. Kind of coming at DJ Sky High right in here, which I don't like because DJ Sky High made a good point. Like, it was rehearsals. Everything's not going to be perfect on rehearsals. Yeah, DJ Sky High always gets the end of the stick when it comes to baddies, and it's kind of sad to watch. Tommy Lee was one of those people that was yelling at her, and DJ Sky High explained that like her file was corrupted. They gave her something that was unworkable. Like, they are expecting this girl to make a mountain out of a molehill. She can't do something that's impossible, and I think that's why it's not fair. I don't think they understand what DJs do, what they can and they cannot do, and they expect her to do stuff that just no DJ would be able to do it, not just her. Chrisean Rock stands up and she says, yeah, you played Vibe at the rehearsal and I told you to play Yahweh. And DJ Sky High explains that like, yes, I did that because right before that, Tasiki requested that I play Vibe since you requested her song. So clearly this is just miscommunication. It's not DJ Sky High's fault. This is called miscommunication between the siblings. I don't know why you guys are requesting each other's songs. How about not? How about just stick with a program, a schedule, and not randomly requesting different songs and then expecting the DJ to just play everything. No, don't play this. What are you doing? Play this. That's not how that works. DJ Sky High is getting angry. She's like, don't F with me and I won't F with you too. That's it, period. And Chrisean Rock all of a sudden says, why are you liking messy stuff about my sister on Instagram? But yeah, she's trying to pull out the receipts so that she can show everybody. DJ Sky High is screaming, that's been debunked already. Like, maybe one of the T pages just made that up or they screenshotted something. She's kind of, you know, denying that she ever did that. But Chrisean feels like, you know, she's just doing this for clout because she's just a DJ and secretly she wants to be a baddie. That's why she's doing all this messy shit. She's just trying to move into being a baddie. I'm not gonna lie, it does seem like DJ Sky High is always kind of like yelling for appreciation when it comes to baddies, especially to Natalie Nunn. But I really don't think she wants to be a baddie, a part of the show. She has a very good position here, being the DJ, getting paid, getting her name out there at the same time, and not having to squabble and be in these beefs. Like, come on now. I just don't think she wants to be a cast member when she has a whole career that she started before Baddies. So Chrisean is showing Nunu that like DJ Sky High liked something. It's about my sister. Nunu, everybody's looking like, girl, you did like it. You liar. You liar. Like, DJ Sky High is literally saying, she's literally swearing to God. She's like, oh God, I'm my daughter. I didn't do anything to that. Which I was just like, aren't you a Muslim? You're supposed to say, Wallahi, I didn't do anything like that. But anyways, it's a joke, y'all. But she's literally swearing on her child. She didn't do that. So I believe her. Nobody's that crazy. Nobody's gonna swear on their own children. Nah. Chrisean is taking everything she says as aggression. She keeps saying, come closer. Oh yeah? Step in my face and do that. Oh yeah? Come right here with that same energy. I'm like, I don't really like this. Chrisean, I see right through you. Why didn't you step in Lex's face with that same energy? You totally did not have that same energy when it came to talking to Big Lex. You didn't have that same energy when it came to talking to Tasiki either, but I understand that because that's your sister. Why are you doing all of this with DJ Sky High? It's because you know that she doesn't want to fight you. Is that what it is? You know that she doesn't want to fight and that she can't really fight. So you know you could hoorah and be all up in her face like this. Like, I don't really like it. But anyways, Chrisean gets mad and she goes up to DJ Sky High and she, boom, smacks her across the face. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Did it have to get to the point where you had to put your hands on her though? Like, girl, Chrisean doing too much. She says DJ Sky High is doing this for clout and messy, but I feel like it's the opposite. Like, she's just doing this because they're filming. DJ Sky High snapped. I didn't think DJ Sky High was gonna hit her back, but I think she just had enough. She snapped and you just see her like, boom, and she starts swinging back at Chrisean. And then, of course, we get the previews for the next episode.